And so Liz Plank was a perfect person for them to go after, because first and foremost, if you don't know anything about her, I had never heard her name before this scandal. She's kind of branded herself as like the ultimate feminist.
Didn't know who she was. This was her first movie. And I was singled out as, you treated her like a fan. And then I was dressed down afterwards, which could have been a career ender, because when you're an intern, you're the most dispensable person on the project.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
They are kind of bumps. Sorry.
In a surprising turn of events, conservative commentator Candace Owens has reportedly shared a list of people allegedly connected to actress Blake Lively. This revelation has taken many by surprise, sparking concerns over the validity of the claims, especially given Owens' reputation for controversial opinions. The list, which hints at potential scandals, could uncover some hidden truths about Lively's past. Now,
Liz Plank was the co-host of the Man Enough podcast alongside Justin Baldoni. And then as soon as Blake Lively filed her complaint, Liz Plank was out, instantly said she quit, a show of support and solidarity with Blake after everything dropped. And people began looking into it. And particularly there was this TikToker, Steph with the Deets, who had showed that perhaps the reason that motivated her to get on the side of Blake Lively without actually looking into anything, or at least speaking to her co-host and hearing his side of things, may have been what we have discovered since, a repeat sort of Ryan Reynolds psychopathic strategy of essentially love bombing people.
Now other footage is coming out of Blake Lively admitting, hey, when I get involved with projects, they hire me as the actress, and sometimes I don't really tell them, but I actually want to come in and I want to rewrite it, and I want to be a producer, and I want to do all of these things. She's literally admitted all of this blatantly. This is just the first time that it's ended up.
How old is Blake Lively, by the way?
30s, I believe.
34. How much longer do you think Ryan Reynolds sticks around with her?
Did any of you guys see Deadpool Wolverine at all? Yeah, sorry. Do you remember the scene where he's nice pool and he's saying like, oh, she bounced back right after her pregnancy. It's okay, I can say that I'm a feminist. They're literally mocking Justin Baldoni.
Downfall of Blake is super important because it represents our collective awakening, specifically to celebrities that we should not be idolizing. And they hate that.
So do you feel free now to try everything? I mean, what is the next 5 years of, well, in terms of trying, I mean,
Did you see the movie?
I did see the movie. But I mean,
we're going to give you a pop quiz.
We're going to give you a pop quiz every minute of it. Yeah.
In a 2009 interview with Glamour magazine, Blake Lively opened up about her initial doubts about working with Penn Badgley on the set of Gossip Girl. She revealed that when she first found out he was cast, she wasn't happy about it and even tried to sway the rest of the cast against him. I actually poisoned the whole cast against him, she admitted. However, her opinion quickly changed as she saw Badgley's true charm and leadership qualities.
A 2009 Glamour UK interview by Blake Lively, and in her interview, she admitted to trying to poison the cast of Gossip Girl, which is where she made her name, against her co-star Penn Badgley, who played her love interest, Dan Humphrey, on the show. She said, at first I was so upset that they had hired him, I actually poisoned the whole cast against him. And she goes on to say, but then they noticed that he wasn't a jerk and was actually a nice, charming person, and almost immediately I realized it too. But it took me about a week to admit it. And here's the thing. Reports were that Blake Lively and Leighton Meester, who played best friends on that show, were not friends during the 6-season run of the show. Leighton Meester and Penn Badgley and other Gossip Girl co-stars have remained silent in the wake of the Baldoni legal drama. Neither Meester nor Badgley follow Lively on Instagram.
On the other hand, another co-star from the show, Taylor, mentioned that she had no negative experiences with Penn Badgley, suggesting that he wasn't problematic. This brings up the possibility that Blake Lively may have been sharing her own personal feelings about him, rather than pointing to any real issues. Taylor didn't seem to dispute Blake's claims.
Okay, but I don't have any bad memories of you, so that's good.
Great.
So there you go. And we'll leave it at that. No, I always had fun filming our scenes together, especially in the beginning. We worked a lot. Like, we worked a lot together.
Yeah, actually, but you know, I mean, I'm almost like, by the end, we really didn't work together.
No.
At all.
No.
You were always doing crazy.
Storyline. I was off being a drug dealer and whatever else they were.
Judd Wallace, the owner of a crisis management firm, has filed a defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively. In the lawsuit, Wallace accuses Lively of making up false claims about him, specifically accusing him of orchestrating an online smear campaign against her, which allegedly caused significant damage to her reputation.
I promise you, I've been trying to think of other things to talk about, but another day, another file. And this actually has to do with one of the most interesting aspects of this entire case. Blake Lively is now being sued by Judd Wallace of Street Relations, Inc. He has said that she has cost him millions of dollars in reputational harm and is suing her for defamation. Lively's counsel released a statement saying that this is just someone else that's trying to sue her into oblivion for speaking out, and that they are confident that this will get dismissed, which I find that to be really interesting because this is someone that they alleged in her original complaint was really responsible or had a part in allegedly the whole astroturfing, because they alleged that Wallace was responsible for planting negative comments and negative story. With Wallace has maintained that he had no part in any negative PR tactics against Lively, which it was interesting that her defense basically was like, oh, this is nothing, it'll get dismissed, yada, 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 because in her filings, they said that Wallace was the one who weaponized a digital army. I don't know if that's a direct quote, but basically that it was either real accounts or possibly bot farms. I don't really know. I probably need to read that again. But basically that was orchestrated by Wallace.
One of the legal filings from Blake Lively includes an accusation that a man entered her room without permission while she was breastfeeding. However, there are conflicting reports suggesting that Lively may have actually given permission for the person to enter. This discrepancy raises questions about the accuracy.
Imagine for a second, you invite a man to your trailer, you're breastfeeding. You say, you can come in, but you got to turn around. So he, knock, knock, I'm here. Come on in. Turn around. He locks eyes with you. And the second it takes for him to turn around. And you add that to the lawsuit. Blake Lively. Gossip girl. You must be stopped. That man was standing and staring at the wall, singing show tunes to himself for all we know, counting stars, counting specks of dust and paint. And you said that was sexual harassment. At this point, you gotta blame it on Ryan Reynolds. Say he wanted the idea for a movie. Say that he thought that it was going to be a funny ha 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 moment. You know how he jokes. Say we all know how he jokes because it's not working. You doomed us.
Reports suggest that Blake Lively's alleged behavior on the set of A Simple Favor created a toxic work environment. Assistant director Barbara Seaman claimed she was forced to quit due to the stress caused by Lively's actions. These claims, alongside
Blake Lively was the reason an assistant director quit A Simple Favor, allegedly, of course. And we learned this from Henry Golding's post. Henry Golding, who was in A Simple Favor, made a post with the poster for another Simple Favor. And under his post, Barbed Wire TV had commented, I worked with you on the first one. My experience with everyone was absolutely amazing, except for a certain someone who is the reason I quit being an AD. Guess who that person is. Wish you all the best with this though. And Barbed Wire TV went on to say, I want to avoid attention around this, but I will say she was cruel to many. I know I cried my way home many nights.
Jamie, another individual coming forward, shared a nearly 20-year-old experience when she was just a young intern in the entertainment industry. At the time, she was 20 years old, and given the simple
you were very young and inexperienced in the industry, and then you got a job as an intern?
Yeah, and I had turned 20 a week before, so I was young, and she was young, I believe, 17, and I always reserve the right to say people can change.
Jamie stated that she never spoke to Blake Lively during her time on set, only passing by her while performing her tasks. However, in the green room, she was later accused of treating Lively like a fan and making her uncomfortable. This behavior allegedly stood out.
She wasn't even famous at that point, was she? Did you know who she was?
No. So I was an intern on a show that she was doing press for, and they were going to talk about Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. It was 3 of the 4 stars. I believe it was Alexis Bledel who wasn't there. And my job was to hand out water bottles to whoever needed it on set that day. And so I didn't talk to her. I had no interaction with her. I walked by her in the green room, and
this issue has resurfaced and gained significant attention due to Blake Lively's ongoing legal battles, particularly in connection with her co-star Justin Baldoni. The legal dispute includes serious claims and has captured media attention. The trial is scheduled for March 2026, with the